But anyway, I am replacing Darnell Oatman, who wanted to be here very much, but his job called him, and I'm actually going to do his speech. Hello, my name is Darnell Oatman. I served 8 years honorably in the United States Navy. I grew up in Augusta, Georgia. I always wanted to be productive in my life, but really never really knew the path to take. I thought about being a doctor or a nurse at an early age, but that wouldn't stick because I didn't know anyone in those fields that looked like me. I had a hard time connecting with a role model because the choices that I had at the time was J.J. off good time, or a football player, or a singer. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a singer, comedian, or athlete. It's just that there was so much more out there, and I didn't want to limit myself to what society had already limited my race to, which was entertainment to a degree. I hadn't really prepared myself for college because of the burden it was placed on my parents. The only option that was left for me was the military. As I graduated, it became clear to me that my only option that would allow me to continue to leave a door open was the Navy, so I decided to enlist. Like everyone else, I was taught to love the United States of America. Before I could read, I knew the place of Legion, which instilled in me values that made me proud to be American. Even before I knew of my country's ugly past, I knew that I was an American, and by being an American, I had access to the American dream. I joined the Navy, went all over the world, and in my travels, met people in other countries that thought well of America. I would smile and agree, knowing deep down inside, America had its own problems. But there was no place, I would rather be. My son was born in 1995, and I had a big decision to continue to serve in the military or pursue what I wanted in life and a professional career that I can be proud of and that can make a difference in someone's life. So I chose to end my service in the Navy. I started school, but was still a little unsure if I could be, what I could be, but knew I wanted to be something in the civilian world, and operating. I found myself working and having to deal with paying bills. It became so overwhelming that I stopped school. I became employed full-time, and it was not easy because of my work ethic. I found myself creating enemies because I was working too fast or too much, or I was causing others to look as if they were not being productive enough. And then after a while, the job wouldn't be challenging to me. So I would look for new work, more challenges, and more reward. But was finding out that a lot of opportunities and jobs that were challenging required a college education. I was not in a position because I had let my GI Bill lapse and had a family to think about. So even though I knew what I needed and what I wanted, I had to deal with the reality of bills, still having to be paid, and kids, still having to eat. So I prayed, and God answered my prayer to make a way for me to become a nurse. Now I must say that the Navy and other life experience instilled in me the confidence to be whatever I want to be. But the reality was, I wasn't in a position to pursue. So I thank God for the opportunity to go back to school and have the mental capacity to deal with reality as I attend. I thank God for the United States of America. They really drew me emphasis on the importance to achieve it where other black young men can believe that it was possible. And I thank God for all those that believed and fought for me and gave me a second chance to fulfill the dream of being able to continue to contribute in America and to make it a better place for whom all see in my dreams and see their dreams come true. I am currently aspiring to major in nursing program at COA through the BRAP program. May God continue to bless the United States of America so that we can truly become united in time of peace and not just at war while serving in the military.